specific volume charts that I use for index triggers. Does the time frame make any difference in this? Yeah, it does. For example, obviously a daily is a daily, and a weekly is a weekly, but a intraday chart, it depends very much on what you're doing. First of all, I always use multiple time frames. I want to see that there's agreement in the pattern, in other words, higher highs, higher lows, and lower highs, between at least two different time frames. There are many, I like, for example, on index charts, specifically the Russell and the ES, I like to have a 3-minute chart. But then Gann's law says you go up to the next time frames either 3 to 5, multiple of 3 to 5. So I have a 15-minute chart and I have a 45-minute chart. Also, if I'm going to do work on timing on intraday, you want to make sure that the interval divides evenly into the number of, the number of bars should be an even number if you're dealing with a pit session chart. So a 45-minute chart, one of the advantages is that it's 9 bars for the day. If you were to use a different value, you might have an extra bar with only partial data in it. It would be like, I showed you that gold timing. What if you were using 1.5 day bars? It's going to be all over the place. Yeah, intraday ES I use, first of all, I always run a daily. And on intraday ES I have 3-minute, 15-minute, and 45. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm getting some of these older questions. Great, I'm glad there are some people who really like this. Charting platform, what you're looking at right now is Fibonacci Trader. I've used others, but there are some advantages, some of which I asked them to include, that work really, really well. Like, for example, let's say you do all that fib work, and then you get a new lower high, new swing lower high. All the levels will automatically update. That doesn't mean that it's going to make all the levels, in the first place. You have to choose the swings and put them in, as I've been showing you. But if, on this Russell chart, if we were to make the target, all the support would update automatically. And most programs will actually, I don't know of any other program that will do that. And if you make a new swing high, you have to erase everything and start it over again. So it's almost impossible to trade if you're doing that. So there's about a dozen special advantages to Fibonacci Trader, and it also has some proprietary indicators. Please show the TF. Well, I did the 3-minute TF. If you'd like a higher time frame, I can do that too. Yeah, we're doing intraday trading with it a lot. That's why the chat room is there, because we're open and taking trades on a shorter term basis. Shorter time frames intraday. Okay, bonds. Yeah, we have plenty going on with bonds. Bonds actually hit an interesting target today. See. Yeah, no, well, the CCI indicator, your question, our friend, the CCI indicator relates, is part of this package. So if MT, that's like, it comes to the point where you have to decide what you're going to use and what you're not going to use, and if it doesn't have it, specifically the way you want it, it means that you might have to reevaluate the package that you're using. Okay, I think that's enough there. I saw a request for the Russell. We can go to higher time frame on that, and also for bond. So let's take a look at the current bond situation. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in this. We had key support that had been holding and holding. By key support, I mean it's one of these levels that if it breaks, it's going to point to a specific downside target. If we had gotten a little bit higher before pit close, we'd be back above that 786. But now the emphasis is to downside. The only real difference with the bond is you do have to be, bond loves to retest prior highs and lows. So until we actually take out the prior swing low, I'm a bit up in the air about whether this is going to fall through or not. I think tomorrow will tell. But this support break, even just by a few ticks, implies that we're going to see, going to look to downside. CCI also is telling us the momentum is shifted. Here with the 50 CCI below zero. What's going on right now on our shorter term? Here's a bond chart from the chat room. 15-minute bond chart. And I see we broke the 50%, but you see where it held at that auction. Came down and hit the 1272 target. It's from a little bit of a ways back here. Let me see if I can find it. That's from the swing into the high. And we had a support break earlier that said we were aiming for that target, and sure enough, it hit and bounced immediately. So it's going to be interesting to see what this does tomorrow. Okay, and yeah, there's the daily, there's the intraday. Now, as far as Russell is concerned, I showed you the 3-minute. Here's the 15, the next time frame. And we have the price projection support. Okay, high to low from highest high after. And we have price projection resistance. So this tells you exactly what to look out for. Now, if the price projection support holds and the resistance breaks, it's telling us that the emphasis is still to upside. Okay? So there's our current, and of course we don't have any downside targets in play. What we need to see happen for downside, a break of 819.70 to look for the 1272 target from the same swing. All right, and then just to give you an idea of how this progresses, here is our 45-minute chart. So yes, those 3 time frames work really well for the index charts: 3-minute, 15, 45-minute. Okay, so we're looking at this resistance to hopefully break if you want to see the upside target, 835. These 45, even the 45-minute swings are getting smaller and smaller. I was writing in my report this morning about how it makes me feel like, makes me think that, we're due for a deeper pullback at some point. But so far, none of our time frames are showing support breaking. So it would be, very unwise, I think, to actually, to start jumping up and down and going, oh, short, short, short. It looks like it's getting ready to do that, but it just hasn't done it yet. I don't like these 45-minute consolidating moves, especially when we're so extended on the dailies. The dailies are definitely